Hey Omar, how's it going, bro? Uh,
Hey,
how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Am I the only one?
Yeah, at the moment, yes.
At the
Um,
moment. All right, cool.
yes, it's basically a one-on-one consultation.
I just actually getting a membership for my VA he's from the Philippines too, to a
Sweet.
school because your content is really, really great, Miko.
Thanks,
So
man.
thank you. Yeah. Are you in
Appreciate it.
Madrid?
No, I'm in Warsaw right now, actually, in
Awesome.
Poland. Yeah.
Awesome, man. I heard too many good things about that.
Yeah, it's hella
Um,
underrated.
cool.
Where are you calling from?
I'm in Houston, so back to
Houston.
like living out here, but I've been to 22 countries. So
Oh,
it's
sick.
and I know what you mean about Chiang Mai. That was your breaking point.
Mm,
And I s-
yeah.
a couple years ago, I spent 1 month out in Chiang Mai, I
Oh,
think.
nice.
And yeah, just like the I went to the yellow co-working, I think that was what it was called. And
Mhm.
then like you just start to really even if people are not in e-commerce, you're like you just meet so many diverse people with numerous skill
Exactly.
sets. It's same mindset, basically.
Exactly. It's such a good vibe there.
Cool, man. I really want to, I got stuck with the Bloggle app, and really I would
Mhm.
love to know if there's any specific I basically what I'm doing is like, let's say from the technical SEO, what's really helpful is your documents because I hand
Mhm.
it off. I try to understand the big level picture, but let's say the technical parts really like so I hand it off to developer. It's really clean, really organized. So I would love if there's any pointers about like some customization that I should have for the blog for because I'm using the Bloggle app and I understand that
Mhm.
that will just kind of slow things down. And
Yeah.
also, it is expensive. I would rather pay a one sum fee and get that over with a developer.
100%. Actually, good thing that you mentioned that because like my team uses custom code to add those product tables into the blog posts. And I can actually update our blogging on Shopify training, that
Mhm.
document, to include that code. Now that you mention it, I should be doing that. So I'm gonna do that, put that in my to-do list. And then once that document's updated, I'm gonna basically message the group to say that the code or that to add those product boxes into the blog posts is ready on that document because we have that code. We should just share it with you guys, with everyone else.
That'd be beautiful. It'd be appreciated too. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll do that because we have it anyway. Like we had a dev create it.
Cool. Um, awesome. May I just dish out a few more questions, maybe?
Yeah, of course, man. Of course.
Well, I'm in the high ticket niches. So one of them is for hospital, really in medical supply, but I'm niching down to hospital beds and and like hospital bed mattresses, really.
Mhm.
And what's great about this niche is it's not really too saturated or competitive and that kind of thing. However, I am concerned about keyword cannibalization because there's a lot of, and I know you're providing training for it, but the main thing is, for example, a lot of you recommend to have a lot of collection pages. At the same time, what constitutes cannibalization? So, for example, there's electric beds, but then there's like, let's just say electric beds, but then there's like electric beds for sale people are searching for,
Mhm.
electric beds for home care. So does that
Mhm.
constitute cannibalization if I'm,
Yeah.
going?
So the best way to check cannibalization, if you want to do it manually, is to Google all those keywords. And if the search engine results page is similar or it's ranking the same pages for each of those keywords, that means that you can basically rank for all those keywords with one page, right? And if you created separate, they would probably cannibalize each other, right? That's a way to do it manually. There are tools to check this though. I think the
Keyword
most
Cupid,
yeah, there
the one
keyword
you
cube is
recommend?
the most yeah keyword cube is the most popular one. It basically does what I mentioned manually, but it does it you know um using
That's
it basically, yeah, automatically.
that's worth it. So in
Mm.
essence, if I type in hospital beds for sale, it would tell me if they should be clustered or they should be a separate.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Exactly. And the keyword cannibalization is one of those common issues on these e-commerce sites, right? Because you want to create as many subcategory pages as you can, but and keyword keep it will give you the best idea of what should be clustered and what shouldn't be clustered. But in the end, you should always audit these pages rankings afterward, because if they do end up cannibalizing, then you can basically fix it. Like it's not like something where it's set and forget. If they're cannibalizing, you can fix it. Because some of these things, like you don't know for sure whether they would cannibalize or not. You just have to look at the SERP and oh, it's cannibalizing, and then you fix it afterwards. Like you merge two pages together or whatever solution you think is fit. Yeah.
And but the key metric to see if it's cannibalizing is is there a key metric to look for? Like, is it
Mhm.
difficult to spot?
No, no, no. If you use any SEO tool like Ahrefs or SEMrush, you can look at the rankings for a specific keyword. And if you see two or more of your pages ranking for that same keyword, then yeah, it's definitely cannibalizing. You'll see it on the graph.
Got it. So if two exact matches are ranking for the same, I'm sorry, if wait, how did you say it? So if one keyword exact match is ranking for two
Yeah,
pages, did I
exactly.
understand that
For
right?
example, like if you have three separate pages for like electric bed for sale, electric bed, and they're competing against each other, like for the same keyword, then they are cannibalizing. And you can see this on Ahrefs, but you can also see it on Search Console. It's just harder to see because it's not as easy to visualize versus just checking on Ahrefs.
Yeah, I think you're a SEMrush guy, right? I went with Ahrefs, but they're probably two powerhouses in the industry.
Yeah. Actually, my team uses SEMrush. I use Ahrefs personally because
Okay.
I'm used to using Ahrefs.
Yeah, there's something about it. It drew me in. So that's cool. And then how would you, because the name of the game also is like, you know, without cannibalization, of course, but it's to create a lot of collection pages. And I haven't gone through all the training, but I understand that like it's prime real estate on the homepage and whatnot, and where the juice goes and et cetera.
Mhm.
So do you not? So if you have like 20 collection pages, where do you do you put it all in the navigation, or do you hide some of them,
Mhm.
or some of them you don't really list it and you just use it like
Internal links. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It really depends on like, you before you start building out all the collection pages, you want to build out the topical map, right? And the topical map isn't just going to be like keywords, a bunch of keywords. It's going to be hierarchical, ideally. It's like categories and subcategories, because when you have those categories and subcategories, then you know exactly, okay, I can feature the main category on my homepage and my navigation, and the subcategories can be linked to from that main category. So you don't have to put all the subcategories on the homepage, on the navigation. You can just have like the main one, and then in that main page, you have like subcategories on top or sometimes at the bottom. As long as you have those internal links and you don't orphan any of these pages, it's completely fine. Of
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
course.
Let's see what else we got. I'm using Kappa. Is
Mhm.
there an AI like one that you use that you recommend? I use for blog content.
That was really good, but the team uses my team uses ChatGPT. We just want like more flexibility with the process. They use Kappa and they said that the quality was not as good as them just manually using ChatGPT to do like different sections. So yeah, they just use ChatGPT. They all have subscription.
That's also saves money. And I think what's cool is like if you put it in ChatGPT. I did notice with Kappa the limitation that I felt was what's great about ChatGPT, because I use it to create collection pages, is that you can read like they spit something out, then you can keep going back. Like this was
Exactly.
great. There's that manual.
Exactly.
With Kappa, it seems what I'm noticing after a month, it's very good, very powerful. It feels too rigid, meaning
Mhm.
like once it produces the output, it becomes like a drag and drop to edit the headers
Yeah.
and this section. But I see the flexibility with
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Exactly. And we let the content team actually like A/B test this. Like we had one writer use Kappa, one writer do their process where it's like kind of like AI assisted with ChatGPT. And then we had the editor judge which content was better. And we found that more AI assisted content where the writers doing more manual work was better than Kappa. And yeah, it takes longer and it's less efficient in terms of word count, but the quality is just much better. So it's like, yeah, like each of these content pieces are an investment in the end. So it might as well just do it once and do it right.
Have y'all created a certain, because I have one from another SEO course about with collection pages. So with blog, is there a certain immediate prompt that you programmed it so it knows? Because I'm sure they don't go in every time and manually do it. Like, is there something that you guys created? Like,
Yeah,
make
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. They have a bunch of those prompts like pre-made. Even like the editing prompt, like rating the content from 1 to 10 based on some criteria, and then just
Yeah.
asking the AI like, "Oh, it's a 7. How do I make this a 10?" And it just straight up tells you like how to edit the content.
No, it's awesome. I use ChatGPT as my therapist too, so you can do it. You
Yeah,
can do so much with it.
yeah.
And so the blog, is there a certain, if I I like to do things just to the extreme, and I wonder
Mhm.
is what's a limit, like a limit if a client's coming to you in the early days and whatnot, and they have a 4 or 5 month vision that
Mhm.
this is where we want to be, and is there a limit to the number of blog posts that you recommend? And by the way, I know
Mhm.
backlinks is a whole separate topic, and that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
juice.
yeah.
But right now
Mhm.
I'm in the technical SEO, and making sure the collection pages are set and the blog. But as far as the blog posts, I want to make sure that I don't overdo it. If that's such a thing, I don't know. Maybe
Mhm.
you tell me it's not. Is there a certain
Um,
number?
there's no limit as long as the blog content or the blog posts are relevant to the product category pages. It becomes a problem when you start posting blog content that is so far from like the topic that the search engine starts getting confused and like devaluing your expertise on a certain topic, right? Because if you start like, because like we experienced this before where we had like an authority on a certain topic, and because we already maxed out the keywords for a certain topic, we wanted, okay, let's do the shoulder niche. And then when we started publishing content on the shoulder, like we basically diluted our expertise on this topic. And then these rankings started going down, and it's like, you have to be very careful when it comes to that. But when it comes to the actual number of blog posts, there's no limit as long as it's relevant.
Beautiful.
Like
That's
I've seen some
okay.
agencies that go really hard on the first month where they publish like everything, and it works for them, so it must work.
Yeah, that's cool. I have a supplier. So a supplier, they're really ranking high for because I'm doing the competitive research and whatnot. I'm like, man, this
Mhm,
supplier, they're ranking great blog stuff. So I was wondering, so
mhm.
for brand, is there a way? I mean, I guess a lot of my questions are very just very newbie, but that's cool. So basically, is there a way to capitalize on the traffic that they're generating? So for example, it's a what's great with the technical SEOs, I'm making sure that there's not that auto-generated collection pages for the vendor, and I'm going to
Yeah.
create a specific collection page for the vendor. Should I
Mhm.
create a cluster of top, like a blog post that's solely dedicated per manufacturer that does generate a lot of traffic? This way,
Yeah.
uh,
If there's search volume, yeah, you should definitely do it.
cool.
Like, because
So
like
it's
those will probably be super high intent.
exactly. So it's like that. Cool. And yeah, I get even ideas from customers. So we have some hospital beds that are specific for to not have that hospital look vibe. And it's
Mhm.
more like, and so we have one Australian manufacturer that they do a great job of that. So now I'm thinking, now it led me to a rabbit hole of like those certain cluster keywords for people that are looking for this product, but they don't want that whatever vibe. And then so
Mhm.
it could be its own separate funnel.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Cool. Awesome, man. Well, eh, uh, I guess no one's joining, huh? They don't capitalize on it. Um, so I guess you're just consistently producing output with the course. That means a lot of good stuff are coming.
Yeah, like actually like in-house we are figuring out our own digital PR process. And until we figure out like a good process, we don't want to release like a generic digital PR course or module where it's like, yeah, you can do this, but we haven't tested it ourselves. Right? We're testing like a digital PR process in-house, and once that's working fine, then we'll release more modules on that. Because yeah, that's actually something we're still working on. We don't want to just regurgitate something we found online.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. That's cool. I guess um, I would ask you the final question is just like, for a brand for a business that's ambitious and, is in for the long game, I don't expect to see results for 4 months. If I
Mhm.
understood correctly, it's make sure the technical SEO is on point, make sure you're generating blog content and the collection pages are not cannibalizing each other, and then to have a solid backlink strategy.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. And for your clients, like some recommend like $1,000 a month or so for backlinks. Is there
Mhm.
for your clients that I think your fees are like 3,500?
Yeah.
What do you dedicate? I know it differs per,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
what's a reasonable budget for
Mhm.
backlinks?
So
Assuming
it
they're not
really, yeah.
trash. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Like it's really dependent, right? Because it's always dependent on your competition. We always look for the link gap because like you don't want to build more than necessary also because then you're wasting your budget, right? But it's typically between 5 to 10 backlinks a month, which is usually, which costs us usually between like as low as maybe 700 to $1,500 if I were to guess. Like, I mean, not guess, but like come up with an estimate of how much those backlinks cost.
Cool. That
Yeah.
seems reasonable. But as of yet, you don't, there's not like it seems like you do it in-house, so there's not a certain vendor or uh, a go-to guy that you go to yet.
Yeah. I mean, I can recommend some vendors, but I haven't tried them myself, so I don't
Okay.
really
Yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. Just know if there's, I mean, if you're looking for,
Mhm.
um, I mean, the stuff, the school, everything's great. So, I mean, that's kind of next level too, right? Because there's
Yeah,
without those backlinks, like again, like
exactly.
that's the steroids that we all
Exactly.
need.
I think backlinks is like the key thing with SEO because like SEO like content can become commoditized because you can always look at what your competitors' content looks like, look at their topical map, just imitate it, and then you basically have the same content. But backlinks, you can look at your competitors' content, backlinks, but then you have to figure out how they got those backlinks, right? Like you can outreach to the same people. Sometimes they'll reply, sometimes they don't. So like backlinks are the ones that are harder to replicate. That's really the
Yeah,
differentiator. Yeah.
absolutely. You see a final images. The last question is for blog posts. You said incorporate images. So, for example,
Mhm.
if a blog post is covering the topic of what's the difference between standard size beds and
Mhm.
bariatric, which is for large, just a some sort of chart, does that
Mhm.
constitute an image? And you said
Yeah.
videos. So it's just basically just for engagement.
Yeah. And like for example, if you have images like a chart like that, you want to put your branding on the image. Like I don't know if
Okay.
it's like called a watermark or something, because in the end, like the search engine is um, is advanced enough to know or recognize your logo on an image, the logo on your website, and basically understand, okay, this is all the same brand, right? Yeah.
Cool, will do. You mentioned something about not in uh, because I've gone through so much, so I can't pinpoint where, but
Mhm.
about not indexing all your product pages. Is that correct? So for example, if we have 20 that we know are best sellers, but our store has 400 products, should we index each product page or focus solely on the ones that are like our money makers?
Yeah, so if your store has like tons of product pages that don't have search volume, yeah, I would remove them from the index and just leave the ones that you know has search volume on the index because then you're wasting your crawl budget, things like that, right?
Okay. All right, Nico. Well, I really appreciate it. So I hope
No
to
worries, man.
I'll let you go. I'll catch. So is this a weekly thing?
Yeah, every Wednesday.
All
Every
right, man.
Wednesday.
I'll prepare some questions next time.
Sweet.
Appreciate it. I'll
Awesome.
look I'll look forward to yeah, if you could let me know about or publish it about the customization to the blog post.
Yeah, will do. I have it in mind to do this already.
All right, cool. Take care of yourself.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Likewise. Thanks, man.
All right.
Have a good
Nice to
one.
meet you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.